Jnanakosha, Puranas, Introduction.
सर्गश्च प्रतिसर्गश्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Linga Purana. Sutta narrates the divine tales of Linga Purana. One sage Narada arrived at Naimisaranya, where he found many sages engaged in austerities. All the sages were delighted to see him. They eulogized him in reverence and offered him seat. Sage Narada narrated some amazing tales describing about the greatness of Linga Purana. This made the sages even more curious about Linga Purana. Right then Sutta also arrived there, and the sages requested him to narrate the tales of Linga Purana. After making salutations to Lord Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha and sage Krishna, Dvaipayana, Sutta said, sound is the medium through which the Almighty Brahma manifests himself. Brahma manifests himself in the sacrosanct Omkara mantra. Rigveda is his mouth, Samaveda his tongue, Yajurveda his neck, and Atharvana Veda is his heart. He is the Supreme Being and is beyond the reach of creation or deluge. He is one but manifests himself as three distinct deities, Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra. These three deities are the expression of the three natural qualities, respectively Rajas, Sattva and Tamas. He manifests himself as Mahesh in his formless Nirguna identity. He manifests himself in all the living creatures as well as imperceptible things in the form of seven natural elements. Mahatattva by five basic elements: Ahankara ego, Shabda sound, Sparsh touch, Roop appearance, Rasa taste and Gandha smell. Lord Brahma compiled the divine tales of Linga Purana. It covers wide range of subjects like the beginning of creation, the origin of universe, description of the time, tales of different kalpas, the greatness of Linga and its worship, tales related with Lord Shiva, characteristics of Shiva temples. It specially elaborates upon the greatness of Shiva Linga and its worship. The first canto, Prathama Sarga. Shiva is both invisible as well as the root cause of all delusions of the world. This is why Shiva is also known as a Linga, unknowable. Linga is nothing but the non-manifested, ayukta form of Shiva. This implies that the visible world is the medium through which Shiva manifests himself. Nature, Prakriti, in itself is devoid of qualities like smell, taste, touch. But all these qualities become apparent in it only because of Shiva, who is perishable and whose characteristics are the natural qualities like taste, smell, touch and sound. The whole world, along with the gross and subtle, has originated from a Linga Shiva. The whole world comes into being with the help of 11 components, that is 10 sense organs and mind. It is pervaded by the delusions of a Linga Shiva. The three prominent deities, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesha, are the manifestation of Shiva. He is the creator in the form of Brahma, the nurturer in the form of Vishnu, and the annihilator in the form of Mahesha. Nature is pervaded by the delusion of Shiva, which is also known as Aja. The three basic colors, red, white and black, are the symbolic expressions of the three qualities, Raja, Sat and Tamo respectively. Majorities of people fall prey to the delusions of this world and get entangled in its illusionary appearances, but there are few that understand the futility of this illusionary world. With the desire of beginning creation, the Supreme Almighty manifests himself in the imperceptible, which results into the creation of the Mahatattva, five basic elements. From Mahatattva manifests the ego or Ahankara, which comprises of three gunas. From ego manifests the Tam mantras are subtle forms of matter sound, form, taste, smell, and touch. Among these subtle forms of matter, sound came into being first of all, and space originated from it. The second Tanmantra, touch, originated from the space. Air manifested from touch or sparsh. The third Tanmantra, form or rupa, originated from air or vayu. Fire or Agni manifested from Rupa. The fourth Tanamantra, taste or Rasa, manifested from Agni. Similarly, water or Jal manifested from Rasa, smell or Gandha from Jal, and earth manifested from Gandha respectively. All the five organs of action, sense organs and mind, originated from pure ego. In course of time, all these elements got transformed into a mammoth egg, inside which Lord Brahma manifested himself. The whole universe is said to be established inside the above mentioned egg. The egg is covered by 7 layers, and Lord Brahma dwells inside it, seated on a lotus flower. The mammoth egg contains crores of universes inside its fold. The beginning of creation. The whole creation lasts for the total period equivalent to Brahma's day. The Almighty God created during daytime and annihilated during night. One day of the Lord Brahma is equivalent to one kalpa of this world. The cycle of 4 yugas occur periodically for 1,000 times, during which period altogether 14 Manus take incarnation, one after another. Satya Yuga consists of 4,000 years. 15 Nimesha make one Kasta. 30 Kalas make a Muhurta. 15 Muhurta a day and night. The dark lunar phase is said to be the day, while bright lunar phase is said to be the night of the mains. 1 year of this world consists of 360 days. The deity's day lasts for the full period when the sun is positioned towards the north of equator. Similarly, the deity's night lasts for the total period when the sun is positioned towards the south of equator. 1 year of the deities is equivalent to 30 years of this world. Similarly, 3 months of the deities are equivalent to 100 months of this world. Each of the 4 yugas is measured on the basis of divine years. Satya Yuga is equivalent to 40,000 divine years, while Treta Yuga is equivalent to 80,000 divine years. Dwapar Yuga is equivalent to 20,000 years of deities, while Kali Yuga is equivalent to 60,000 years of the deities. The period of each yuga given here is exclusive of the periods of Sandhya, evening, and Sandhyansha. Lord Brahma commences creation at the fag end of night, and all his creations exist for the whole day. When the night descends, everything is annihilated. This is the time when Kalpa ends. The origin of creation. In the initial phase of his creation, Lord Brahma created immovable natural things like trees, mountains, etc., then birds and animals. In the process of creation, he created various things and human being as his 7th creation. First of all, Lord Brahma created his Manasaputras, Sanaka, Sanananda, who had no worldly desire. He then created the 9 supreme sages, Marichi, Brighu, Angiras, Pulasya, Pulaha, Kratu, Daksha, Atri, and Vasistha by the help of his yogic powers. After that, it was the turn of the 12 Prajapatis, Ribhu, Sanat Kumar, Santhan. All of them were divine, extremely virtuous, and had realized the Supreme Self. Brahma, Shatrupa, had begotten 4 children from Swayambhu Manu, Priyamvrata, Uttanapada, Akuti, and Prasuti. Akuti was married to a Prajapati named Ruchi, while Prasuti married Daksha. Akuti gave birth to two children, Dakshayana and Yajna. Dakshayana had 12 sons. Prasuti, the youngest daughter of Shatrupa, had begotten 24 daughters from Yaksha, Shraddha, Lakshmi, Dhriti, Tusti, Pusti, Megha, Kriya, Buddhi, Lajja, Vapu, Siddhi, Kiriti, Khyati, Sambhuti, Smriti, Priti, Kshama, Shannati, Anasuya, Ujjava, Swaha, Sura, Arani, and Swatha. 13 of them were married to Dharma, a Prajapati. Khyati was married to sage Bhrigu, while Arani married sage Bhargava. Similarly, various sages like Marichi, Angira, Pulasya, Pulaha, Ritu, Atri, and Vasistha got married with Sambhuti, Smriti, Priti, Kshama, Sannati, Anasuya, and Urja, respectively. Swaha was married to Vibhavasu, while Swadha married the Pitrivarahas. Dharma had begotten altogether 15 sons from his 13 wives. Kama, Darpa, Niyam, Santosh, Alobha, Shrut, Dhand, Samay, Bodhi, Mahadhyuti, Aparmad, Vinay, Vyasya, Kshama, Sukha, and Yash. Khyati, wife of sage Bhrigu, gave birth to Sri, who later became the concept of Lord Vishnu. She also had two sons named Dhata and Vidhata. Prabhuti, wife of sage Marichi, gave birth to two sons, Puranama and Marichi. She also had 4 daughters, Drishti, Drishti, Krishi, and Apache. Kshama, wife of sage Pulaha, had many offsprings, among whom Kardama and Shahishnu were prominent. Priti, wife of sage Pulasya, had 2 sons named Dharnavar and Dahuvahu. She also had a daughter named Dvashvashi, Shwadhavati. Kratu's wife, Sannati, had 6,000 offspring, who became famous as Balakilas. Smriti, wife of sage Angirasa, had given birth to 5 daughters, Sini, Vali, Kuhu, Raka, and Anumati. Anasuya, wife of sage Atri, had 6 children, 5 sons and 1 daughter. The names of the sons were Satyanendra, Bhavayamuni, Murtirya, Anechar, and Somas. Urja, wife of sage Vasistha, gave birth to 7 sons, Jayaji, Pundareksham, Raj, Shuhotra, Bahu, Nishyapa, Shravana, Tapashvi, and Shukra. Agni's consort Swaha gave birth to 3 sons, Pavaman, Pavak, and Shuchi. Lord Shiva, the supreme liberator. Sati, daughter of Daksha, had married Lord Shiva much against the wish of her father. Once Daksha organized a grand yajna in which he had not invited his son-in-law. Sati went to attend the yajna ceremony in spite of Shiva's forbiddance. After seeing her, Daksha culminated Lord Shiva and made fun of him. This infuriated her to such an extent that she gave up her life by jumping into the sacrificial fire. She was born as Parvati in her next birth and once again got Shiva as her husband. Once Lord Brahma requested Shiva to create a world which was free from death. Lord Shiva refused, apprehending its disastrous consequences. Lord Brahma was left with no other option than to commence creation on his own. Meanwhile, Shiva became immovable, just like the trunk of a tree. Lord Shiva, who is capable of taking any form, he showers benediction on mankind. He is engrossed in the supreme state of yoga with effortless gaze. Nobody can attain liberation without his grace. He is the bestower of religiousness, dharma, knowledge, jnana, asceticism, vairagya, and splendor, Aishwarya. Sinners who do not take refuge in Shiva have to experience the unbearable tortures of countless hells. Incarnations of Manu and Vyasa. On being asked about the incarnation of sage Vyasa during various eras and Manvantras, Sutta replied, O Brahman, now I am going to mention the names of all the incarnations of Vyasa who existed during Vaivasvant Manvantara of Varaha Kalpa. The names are as follows: Ritu, Satya, Bhargava, Angira, Savita, Mrityu, Shatakratu, Vasishtha, Saraswat, Tridhatma, Trivrita, Swayam, Dharma, Narayana, Tarakshu, Aruni, Kritunjaya, Trinam, Bindu, Rukha, Muni, Shakti, Parashara, Jatukaranya, and Sri Krishna Dvaipayana. The names of Manus belonging to different Manvantras of Varaha Kalpa are Swayambhu, Swaruchi, Uttama, Tamas, Raivat, Chakshusu, Vaivasvant, Sarvani, Dharma Sarvani, Vishanga, Avishanga, Shabal, Varak. All these Manus were named according to their appearances and complexions. For example, Vaivasvant Manu was of dark complexion. The essence of yoga. Yoga means union with God. The state of yoga is impossible to attain without the blessings of Lord Shiva. It needs a concentrated and focused mind. There are some specific thoughts in the human body, concentrating upon which enables a man to attain the state of yoga spot between the eyebrows, lower part of the throat, navel, and 6 inches above it. The state of yoga can never be attained until and unless a person has fully controlled the tendencies of sense organs. It can be achieved with the help of 8 means: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Each of them holds an important position in the path of yoga. Describing about the methods of performing yoga, Sutta says a person should sit with his legs crossed in Padmasana and try to concentrate his mind by fixing his gaze between his eyebrows. He should keep his spine erect. He should meditate either on the form of Omkara or on the form of Lord Shiva. Breath control is an important aspect of yogic exercise. A man should exhale deeply for 32 times and then breathe in deeply. He should then retain his breath as long as possible and visualize Lord Shiva within his body. By constant practice, he will achieve mastery over his art, and a time will come when he will experience divine bliss. This divine bliss cannot be experienced unless one has attained a deep state of meditation. Obstacles in the path of yoga. A man experiences numerous obstacles in the path of yoga: laziness, restlessness, confusion, a diseased body. The main reason for being lazy is a bulky physics and one's inability to concentrate his mind. Lack of concentration results in restlessness, which is a major obstacle in the path of yoga. If a person is unsure about the results, he becomes confused. It is impossible for a person suffering from any disease to concentrate his mind. All the above mentioned hurdles can be overcome by firm resolution. A man who has successfully overcome all these obstacles might experience other obstacles in the form of siddhi. There is a real danger of getting lured by these divine powers. As a result, his mind may get distracted from his original goal and he may deviate from his path. The names of these siddhis or divine powers are Pratibha, Shravana, Varta, Darshana, Ashwada, Vedana. If a person successfully overcomes all these allurements, then he becomes a Siddha or a man of accomplishment and divine power. Realization of Shiva. Lord Shiva showers his blessings on one and all without any discrimination. But virtuous people have special privileges in the in the sense that it is easier for them to realize Lord Shiva. Once Parvati asked Lord Shiva as to how a devotee could realize him. Lord Shiva recalled an incident when Lord Brahma had asked the same question. Lord Shiva had told Lord Brahma, "Anybody can realize me by having deep devotion towards me. A devotee can meditate upon me in the form of Linga with total devotion. It is only by deep devotion that a man can achieve true knowledge as well as salvation." Venerableness of Sadhyojat. The sages asked Suta as to how was Lord Brahma able to have a divine glimpse of Sadhyojat. Suta replied, during the Kalpa named Sweta Lohit, once Lord Brahma witnessed the manifestation of a divine child who was of mixed red and white complexion. The child had a shikha on his head. Considering him to be an embodiment of Almighty God, Lord Brahma realized the child. Suddenly 4 children appeared and formed a protective ring around Sadhyojat. The names of these children were Sunanda, Nandan, Vishwarananda and Upananda. All of them were of fair complexion and very handsome. Anybody who is desirous of attaining to Rudraloka must take refuge in Sadhyojat.